Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome all of you to the 63rd Annual George Waugh Scholar Leader Athlete Awards Dinner. My name is Keith Glock. I'm honored to be your Master of Ceremonies for this evening. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our honorees. Please remain seated as we welcome the procession of this year's Adult Award recipients and Scholar Leader athletes. First, our Nick Gus Good Guy Award, Blair Thompson. Our Tony Persichelli Meritorious Service Award winner, Greg Johnson. The Eunice Kennedy Shriver champion from the Special Olympics of New Jersey, Zachary Mack. Our Jack Millard Officials Award, Don Ellison. The National Football Foundation's Legacy Award, John Butler. Our John McKenna Assistant Coaches Award, Rich McGlynn. The Hank Johns Coaches Award winners, Dave Caldwell and Todd Smith.
Every time you come around, you know I can't.
The George O'Gorman Contribution to Amateur Football Award, Joe Camelone.
Every time the sun goes down, I let you take control. I can feel the paradise before my world implodes. And tonight,
And now let's welcome our Scholar Leader athletes. First, from Lawrence High School, Mahmoud Ali. Representing Nottingham, Carlos Almonte. From Hopewell Valley High School, Milan Desai. From Pennington, Jack Fermo. Representing Hightstown, Michael Fowler. From New Egypt High School, Aiden Healy. From Trenton Central High School, Edward Hill.
I hear Jerusalem bells ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Mirror, mirror, my soul.
Representing Bordentown, Harrison Curtis.
For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter won't call my name.
From the Lawrenceville School, Benjamin Lalu. Representing Allentown, Christian Macaluso. From Notre Dame, Wyatt Moore. From Burlington Township High School, Isaiah Ndiaye. Representing the West Windsor Plainsboro High Schools, Connor Sataraju.
Pop it for me. Turn around and drop it for a plan. Drop it for me. I'll rent a beach house in Miami. Wake up with no jammies.
From Hamilton West, Jacob Smith.
You got it if you want it. Got it if you want it. Said you got it if you want it. Take my wallet if you want it now. Jump in the Cadillac. Girl, let's put some miles on.
Representing Florence, Robert Saban.
You deserve it, baby. You deserve it all. And I'm gonna give it to you.
From the Hun School, Liam Thorpe. Representing Steinert, Jonathan Weaver. From Princeton High, Sean Wilton.
Missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain. Once you go, it was never alone.
Our Delaware Valley Little Scholar, Chase Gallagher. And our Earl H. Dean honoree from the College of New Jersey, Jack Centrelli.
It drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it. Moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it. So don't stop, stop. Under the lights when everything goes. Nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Scholar Leader athletes. At this time, I'd like to ask everyone to please rise as I call up our Little Scholar Award recipient, Chase Gallagher, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag under the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Those of us that are my age are in big trouble because the little scholar is like 3 inches taller than me. And so good luck to the next generation of football players. Thanks, Chase. And now it's my pleasure to welcome to the podium the president of the Delaware Valley chapter of the National Football Foundation and College Hall of Fame, Coach Eric Hamilton.
Thank you. On behalf of the Delaware Valley chapter of the National Football Foundation, I'd like to welcome and thank you for being a part of a special 63rd George Waugh Scholar Leader Athlete Dinners program. This event is our tribute to a man who was the heart and soul of this chapter, Mr. George Waugh, and his dedication and passion that he had for the young people like we have here today. This time, I'd like to ask all our Scholar Leader athletes to please stand. As you can see, this year we have another great-looking group, partially in thanks to Giovanni's fine men's clothing, by the way. But a big thank you also goes to your families. At this time, Scholar Leader athletes, please applaud those who are here tonight for you. Go ahead. Is that as loud as it gets? Are you serious? One more time, for your friends and family. Thank you. Please be seated. Now, we talk about the good in the game. It's right here. This is our good in the game. When you talk about teamwork, the Delaware Valley chapter works year-round to make this event happen. During the evening, you're going to meet most of our members, but this time I would just like to ask all of them to please stand real quick and be recognized. Guys, they're all in the back working, but thank you. Another big thank you to Ken Fisher and Nassau Communications for tonight's Scholar Leader Awards banquet program. I hope you've had a chance to look at it, but it's pretty awesome, so we want to say thank you to Ken. The scholarships our Scholar Leader athletes receive this evening do not happen without the help of our chapter sponsors, who during the course of the evening will be introduced to you. We thank them for helping us to promote the good in the game, as well as in our communities. We are pleased to welcome back to the chapter this evening Burlington Township High School, which used to be a longtime member. And I want to thank and recognize Coach Steve Everett and Athletic Director John Taylor. Today's dinner is memorable because we're recognizing those who helped make this game special to so many of us in so many ways. 1 month after last year's event, we lost one of our most admirable members. As the hurt from our loss slowly heals, it's with a smile tonight that this dinner represents and honors Robert Cassiola, a man who was largely responsible not only for the growth of this chapter during his time at Princeton, but was for the growth of the entire National Football Foundation across the country. Coach Cass was from Lawrenceville, played and coached at Princeton University before utilizing his talents in many venues while giving back to the game. He never forgot where he came from, and neither did all those he helped along the way. You will see and hear tonight about his influence on our game and throughout the program. His name will forever be on our chapter list with Robert F. Cassiola Distinguished American Award that we present every year, and with a Robert and Janet Cassiola Scholarship. There is no Distinguished American tonight because he's not here. We also lost another dear friend in former West Windsor Plainsboro North head coach and Hamilton West assistant coach and Trenton State College football player, Arthur Stubbs. Arthur was a good man. A special thank you to Ocean Video Productions for putting tonight's video tributes together, as you'll see later. Harry Ferrone and Ethan Noble, always another tremendous job. And our writers for tonight's program, Joe O'Gorman, Rich Fisher, Mike Olshan, for putting into words all the good things about tonight's honorees. And of course, thank you to our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Keith Glock. For our chapter to get to this point after 63 years, a huge thank you goes to our Secretary-Treasurer, Dr. Jim Ball, and to our Vice President, Kelly Myers, for all their efforts. And like in The Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain, Steve Tuckerson, with an assist from Ron Herm. Gentlemen, thank you. Also excited tonight to announce a new venture the Del Valle chapter is undertaking with Safer Sports and working with our chapter schools to continue to make our programs even safer. We're very fortunate they were able to join us tonight. This program will start by providing safer helmet covers for each school to utilize as they see fit, starting with the upcoming 2025 season. Take a quick look.
You want to be able to play as hard as you can, as safe as you can.
Whenever I have the safe cap on, it absorbs most of the blow.
You can tell it's a little bit softer. When you get hit, it's just like kind of bounces off instead of reverberates through your helmet.
So when we look at those tests, when we had a safer cover on a football helmet, on average, it reduced accelerations by 11%.
And as we start this program together, I'd like to ask two special guests tonight, John Zaglinski and Bill Ard, if they would please stand. Safer Sports, I know they're here in the back. Thank you. We're excited about this because it takes a chapter to a whole different perspective to help us to continue to make the game safer. And thanks to a generous donation by the Myers family in memory of Elwood and Rusty Myers, longtime National Football Foundation supporters. With the help of our gracious scholarship sponsors, we salute and recognize all levels of the game, not only in the Delaware Valley, but across central New Jersey, continuing our legacy of honoring those who stand out. Tonight's honorees are leaders on the field, in our schools, and in our community. From youth football to college football, from flag football to high school football, and from Special Olympics to the National Football Foundation, headquartered in Dallas, Texas. And like any organization, we continue to grow, and we're looking for new faces to get involved. If you like what we do and would like to join us, we'd love to have you. To join our team, see any of our members, and we'll point you in the right direction, which is the back of the room. If sponsorship at any level of any of our programs is of interest to help us to continue this and grow this as we move down the road, again, please let us know. Let me know. We encourage everyone here to become a member of the National Football Foundation because you become a voice behind our chapter. On every table and on our website, you'll find a QR code for information regarding National Football Foundation and chapter membership. We'd love to have you join us. Having said that, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome a former West Windsor Plainsboro student athlete, a scholarship football, baseball player at the University of Delaware, and chapter distinguished American. It's my pleasure to introduce to you the Director of Membership for the National Football Foundation, Mr. Ron Dilatush. Ron?
Good evening, everyone. Boy, it's wonderful to be home. As Eric said, I grew up just probably 5 miles from here in Plainsboro and went to West Windsor Plainsboro High School, went to school at Delaware. I've lived in Texas for the last 17 years and just moved back. So it's wonderful to be back in Pennsylvania and in the area. So I'm really happy to be here tonight. On behalf of our chairman, Archie Manning, and our president and CEO, Steve Hatchell, I want to congratulate all of the scholar athletes that are being honored tonight and all of the award winners, coaches. This is a significant day, and we celebrate the game of football and excellence on and off the field. I also want to congratulate all of the parents and teachers and coaches that I know are sprinkled throughout the crowd. I mean, certainly for parents, this is a significant event for you, and congratulations on all of your the time and efforts you've given to these guys. I want to ask the parents to stand up and just get a round of applause just to thank you again personally, and all the parents, please stand up. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Now, you scholar athletes are part of a legacy now, a very important legacy, and hopefully you will remember this for the rest of your lives. The NFF was founded in 1947 with help from General Douglas MacArthur, Army coach Earl Red Blake, and sports writer Grantland Rice to use the power of football in developing scholarship, citizenship, and athletic achievement in young people. Basically, the organization, the NFF, is here to promote the game of football, success on and off the field. And certainly these guys are examples of that. The NFF celebrates outstanding achievement on the field through the College Football Hall of Fame. We run the College Hall of Fame located in Atlanta, Georgia, and it celebrates outstanding achievement off the field through our scholarship programs and our chapter system. The Hall of Fame started in 1951 and recognizes the best of the best in college football. And each year, we enshrine new players and coaches into the Hall of Fame. Last year, we honored players like Paul Posluszny from Penn State, Larry Fitzgerald, Randy Moss. And this December, we will enshrine some players you might have heard of, Michael Strahan, Michael Vick, and two pretty fair coaches in Nick Saban and Urban Meyer. The NFF celebrates achievement off the field through our scholar athlete programs like the Campbell Trophy, which is our top scholar athlete award, kind of the academic Heisman was given to Jalen Milroe this year, and our National Scholar Athlete Awards program, and our chapter system. The chapter system was started in 1954 with the goal of starting a grassroots program to promote the game and honor success on and off the field. And so you guys are now part of a legacy of that 70 years, and there's 120 chapters in 47 states around the country that are doing just this. They're honoring outstanding young men for what the jobs that they've done. And in this day and age, it's a wonderful thing to do. So I want to encourage each one of you to join the National Football Foundation. Footballfoundation.org is our website. You can join this chapter and become a part of what we're doing, and it directly supports this chapter. Your membership directly supports the chapter. And you'll receive all of our online content. If you're a football fan, you will like it. You get to vote on the College Football Hall of Fame ballot each year, which will come out in June. So that's always a special treat for everybody. And again, it's an opportunity to stay involved and give back. So again, footballfoundation.org, there's a link on there also to talk about I Played. And it's a way to document your participation in the game. So again, congratulations to all the honorees. Enjoy the evening. And I think we're going to show just a short video clip of the National Football Foundation.
Football changed my life a lot. It was a lightning rod because when I found football, I needed it. I was just a kid looking for something to wrap my hands around that I could run with, and football was one of those things.
Football has provided an opportunity for me to do things that I never dreamed possible. Coaching was the avenue, and it opened so many doors for me and gave me so many opportunities.
Football is the greatest sport in America because you get men from all walks of life. They connect with you because of the fact how we connect with each other.
The things you go through as an athlete, things you learn, the ups and downs, but you gain so much from it. I wouldn't do it any differently.
Football takes you to places that you didn't think you could go, and it pushes you past boundaries that you never thought you could push past. And now you begin to have more confidence in who you are and what you can do and in your dreams and so many other things. And so I'm so grateful for this incredible game for so many different reasons.
All right. Moving ahead, I have a special person to introduce. John Butler has led Pop Warner Little Scholars, the nation's preeminent youth football and cheer organization, for the past 33 years. And in last July announced that he would be retiring following the 2024 football season. This past December, at our annual awards dinner in Las Vegas, the NFF presented John with its Legacy Award, and we would like to pay tribute to John tonight. Founded in 1929 and headquartered in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, boasting more than 1 million alumni, Pop Warner Little Scholars is the nation's oldest youth football, cheerleading, and dance organization, and the only sports organization that emphasizes academics as a prerequisite for participation. Under John's leadership, the organization has flourished with more than 800 Pop Warner associations across the nation, becoming the model for all youth sports leagues. John's accomplishments include overseeing the expansion of the Pop Warner Super Bowl in Orlando, Florida, where regional winners from 5 different age and weight divisions meet to crown football champions, and the highly competitive Pop Warner cheer and dance program with squads from all over the country competing for national championships in multiple age groups. Also under John's guidance, the All-American Little Scholar program has grown exponentially to recognize youth academic standouts from all around the country. Pretty good theme here we have with our academic recognition. And on a more personal note, John gave me my start in the football business. John hired me at Pop Warner back in 1994 as the National Football Commissioner, and I am forever grateful to John for his mentorship and friendship over the years. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome and congratulate John Butler.
Thank you, Ron, and certainly thank the Delaware Valley chapter of the National Football Foundation and College Hall of Fame, not only for me, but for all the award recipients tonight up here, out in the audience. It's a pleasure to know that all these people enjoy, appreciate, and recognize the intangibles, the things happen beyond the field of football, what it does for your head, for your heart, and for your gut. And somebody who truly believed in that was Bob Casciola. I knew that the first time I met him. And to this day, I remember one of the things I appreciated most with him is whenever you talked to Bob, he made you feel like you and what you were saying was really important. And that's kind of a lost art in this day and age. So again, congratulations to all up here, and thank you very much.
Congratulations to John. And I always manage to squeeze some lacrosse references in when I'm up here every year because of the cross-referencing and the cross-training that I think we're seeing so prevalent in certainly the NFL and major college football today with Cooper DeJean and Riley Leonard. I'm sure we've all seen their basketball highlights and the cross-training. John's been such an influence in the lacrosse world, which I think parallels into what we're going to talk about next. First award of the evening from our Scholar Leader athletes is our Delaware Valley chapter Little Scholar. This year's recipient comes to us as a product of the Hopewell Valley and Lawrence youth programs. He's a standout at wide receiver and safety. He's helped both towns achieve success on the gridiron. He's a 3-sport athlete, excelling in basketball and lacrosse. In lacrosse, he's a starting midi for his school, rec, and nationally ranked Blue Star program. He's a consistent honor roll student. He was invited to serve as an ambassador for the Princeton Middle School graduation last summer and is an upstander at his school, a role that enables him to support a classmate or a cause and intervene if he observes bullying. Please welcome this year's Little Scholar Award, Chase Gallagher.
First, I would like to congratulate all of the award winners sitting down in front of me. It is an honor to be up here with all of you. I would also like to extend a congratulations to Princeton's scholar athlete, Sean Wilton. I had a chance to be on the sidelines over Sean's past 4 years. He is a great captain and player. I would like to thank the Delaware Valley Football Chapter for nominating me as your Youth Scholar Athlete. I'm extremely grateful. Also, I am grateful for the WJYFL for allowing kids like me to play the game of football. I would like to thank my amazing coaches who have always been there for me. They have helped me become the best football player I could. I first started my football career playing for the Junior Lawrence Cardinals in 4th grade. All the way throughout my 4 years there, I have met some truly great friends and coaches. I also had an opportunity over those few years to play for the Princeton Junior Flag Program. There, I also learned more about the game, but also met what will be a lot of my future teammates starting this fall. Unfortunately, this fall, during my 8th grade, my Lawrence team did not have enough players for the season. So, I had to sadly leave the team and transfer to a very welcoming Hopewell Bulldogs team. Of course, I was nervous, but I was determined to do my best and help the team win. I got to know my teammates and Coach Bebro over the next several months, and what made things even better was we were winning all of our games. In the end, our team went 9-1, suffering a tough loss in the championship game, losing 8-0. So, throughout my entire football career, a quote that really stuck with me is what Coach Carter from Lawrence would constantly repeat at the end of our practices and games. Hard work pays off, and I'm so glad I followed that. I truly could have not had a more fun youth football experience. As far as school, I'm very grateful for my amazing teachers who helped me become a better student athlete in both Lawrence and Princeton. Lastly, I would like to thank my grandparents who are able to attend today, and I can't forget my parents and 3 sisters, Reese, Avery, and Quinn. My mom and dad have been my biggest supporters and have been cheering me on all along. I look forward to playing over the next 4 years for Coach Gallagher, AKA Dad. Let's work on bringing a championship to the next few years, Coach. Thank you all.
Congratulations again to Chase. Hopefully we see you back here in a couple years as the representative from Princeton High. Our next award is the Eunice Kennedy Shriver Champion Award. Several years ago, our chapter was fortunate to partner with the Special Olympics of New Jersey to recognize an outstanding flag football performer at our annual event. This year's recipients played football for 13 years, excelling as a quarterback for his teams. He's also participated in soccer, volleyball, bowling, basketball, and softball. A native of Westville in Gloucester County, he's a proud father. He has a successful career in pool chemical management. Please welcome our Eunice Kennedy Shriver Champion Award recipient, Zachary Mack.
So I'ma love you every night like it's the last night, like it's the last night. If the world was ending, I wanna be next to you. If the party was over and our time on earth was through, I wanna hold you just for a while.
I just want to say thank you so much for the award. Thank you for having me. I thank my mom, I thank my family, and I thank my coach. Thank all the students and the players that I get to play with, and I just enjoy having everybody there with me. Honestly, I thank you all.
Our next award recipient has been well known in the area basketball community for over 4 decades. He was a state champion at McCorriston, a Hall of Famer at Stockton, and has been an official for 38 years, and he runs the Moody Park Summer League. On the gridiron, he's only been an official for 9 years, but he's established a reputation in that short time as one of the best in the area, highlighted by serving on the game crew for a state championship game at Rutgers in 2023. He retired in 2011 after an accomplished career in law enforcement, where he worked for the New Jersey Division of Gaming Enforcement and the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Jack Millard Officials Award recipient, Mr. Don Ellison.
Way I make you feel, everything becomes so real. Don't be scared, no, don't be scared. 'Cause you're all I need. And you still look perfect.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, I'd like to give thanks to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, to the selection committee, my peer officials, and the coaches, and the students around. I only started this football career with Troy Stevenson talking me into doing it. So I am grateful and I'm honored to be receiving this award. I'd like to thank my church family. I'd like to thank my co-workers and my girlfriend, Darlene, and I don't know why I'm stuttering, why I'm nervous, but I've been receiving this for a long time, so I just enjoy the game. I love the game. I love what I do, and as you can tell, I've been doing this for quite some time. Thank you to the coaches, thank you to the players, and thank you very much for this award. Thank you.
So alive, turns out I'm not real.
Thank you, Don. It's nice to have football officials that are that big, because there's nobody going to argue a holding call. You're not talking to me, no. We have two presentations we'd like to make in the name of people that are very special to us. Tony Persicelli wrote for both the Trenton Times and the Trentonian. But more than that, he was a sports guy, he was a Trenton guy, he was a football guy. And he'll be the first to tell you he was a member of the 1970 Trenton High undefeated, but tied once, football team. Tonight we have somebody in a very similar very similar mentorship type of program. Greg Johnson from the Trentonian, a young man who went to Lawrence High School, was involved in sports, got involved covering sports, loved to write about sports, and takes that passion with him today to the Trentonian. And we appreciate everything he does, not only for this event here, but during the course of the season to promote the good in the game of football. And it's my honor and my pleasure to bring up here tonight Mr. Greg Johnson from the Trentonian. Greg?
Thank you. I want to thank Steve Tuckerson, Eric Hamilton, and the entire Delaware Valley chapter for honoring me with such a prestigious award. I want to thank two of my colleagues, Joe Gorman and Rich Fisher, for nominating me and being shining examples over the years of how to cover athletes and coaches with care and detail. I want to thank my parents, Jeff and Cheryl, who are here today, and without them, I would not be standing here. They raised me, gave me every opportunity to succeed, and have provided endless support to my career, which has helped me to believe in myself and always stay positive. I love you both. And lastly, I want to thank every single athlete and coach who I've had the pleasure of covering and interviewing. You all bring so much joy to my life with your memorable games and performances, and I'm just happy to play a small role in your journeys by writing about them. This is a cool full circle moment for me because when I started working full-time at the Trentonian almost 10 years ago, my first assignment was to cover one of the chapter's 12th Man Touchdown Club dinners. I picked a kid from Robbinsville to feature because he led the team to its first victory in almost 2 years. And it also happened to be Andrew Patterson's first win as head coach. Coach Patterson has become a good friend, and as a constant appreciation is a fulfilling reminder that what I do for his kids and the county makes a difference. Delaware Valley football is special to me because the athletes and coaches are classy, work hard, form emotional bonds, learn life lessons together, and become families, and that deserves a positive spotlight in the press. Often in this area, you don't get teams with the biggest, fastest, or strongest players, but they will work tirelessly to play together as a team and study film and design plays to create any possible advantage to help them win. And when they get to see the fruits of their labor, I think that's really inspiring. Congratulations to all of the other award winners and scholar athletes. Thank you all again for letting me into your lives and making what I do so fun. It is truly a one-of-a-kind experience. Thank you.
And yes, Greg does a nice job during the fall for the Touchdown Club. We really appreciate that as well. Our other award recipient, or our other award is named after Nick Guz, the former athletic director at the Lawrenceville School. Nick was one of the original members back in this chapter when it started. He was a football guy from Trenton State, taught and coached at Lawrenceville, and was around the game a long time, even though he lived in Burlington City. Nick is a guy we'll never forget in this chapter. He did so much for us trying to build up, and it was his initiative that allowed us to start giving scholarships, believe it or not, to the Scholar Leader athletes over 25 years ago. So why is it called the Good Guy Award? Well, Nick was a good guy, and the person that gets it has to be a good guy. We can't think of a better good guy than the assistant coach at the Pennington School. Mr. Blair Thompson's been around the game a long time. And as he walks up, I want everyone to know, through thick or thin, when we had the Touchdown Club meetings especially, Blair not always nominated, he was always there to introduce the recipients. It's my honor and pleasure to have somebody who gives back to the game as much as he does, Mr. Blair Thompson.
First of all, I want to congratulate all the young men sitting up here, especially our own Jack Fermo. I've talked about Jack, enough times that he knows how I feel about him and all he's done. And my admiration for all you guys up here is deep-seated. I hope you've noticed I'm an English teacher, and so part of what I do is I pay attention to word choice and language use. And I hope you understand what it says on the front of your programs here. It says, Scholar, Leader, Athlete. Notice the placement there. Scholar first, leader second, athlete third. It's something I think you should keep as a priority as you move through your life ahead, through your college years, etc. Because let's face it, the athlete is going to go. It's probably going to be the first thing to go. And what's left is a student and a leader. And that's where you have the opportunity to really make your mark. So keep pushing, and I wish you all well. When I first got the phone call, first of all, my thank yous to the Delaware Valley of the National Football Hall of Fame for this honor, to my compadres with the 12th Man Touchdown Club, especially Steve Tuckerson, Eric Hamilton, and John Adams, who helped keep the ball rolling even when it started to slow down a little bit, and to everybody I've coached with at Pennington. I think if you look down through the years, the head coaches that I've had the opportunity to work under at Pennington probably are as great as any school in this county. Bill Long, Frank Francisco, Jerry Chief Uri, and now Mike Watkins. When I first got the call for this award from Eric Hamilton, the first thing that came to my head was a quote from Romeo and Juliet. Now, some of you who know me from the 12th Man Touchdown Club, you're saying it wasn't Beowulf? People were expecting Beowulf. No, we're going Romeo and Juliet. Again, I'm an English teacher. Literary allusions is what I do. Early in the play, Lady Capulet, Juliet's mother, says, "What stands your disposition be married?" To which Juliet replies, "It is an honor I dream not of." And this is certainly an honor that I never dreamt of. First of all, I knew Nick Guz. You know, we didn't hang out together, but I knew him. I knew who he was. I knew meant what he meant to Mercer County football. And to receive an award named in his honor is doubly an honor because I know exactly what he stood for. And to be put in that same position is deeply, deeply touching. So I appreciate it. You don't get into teaching or you don't get into coaching for the accolades, and you certainly don't become an assistant coach for the accolades. You do it for the passion, the love of the game, the desire to impact kids and get your students to get that same feeling for the game that you have. And I've been very, very lucky to be able to do that for the years over at Pennington, and it's really been an important part of my life. I'm hoping it continues to be. I hope like Old Candy in Of Mice and Men, I hope you'll let me hoe in the garden even after I'm no good at it. Last thing I want to say is Leo DeRocher famously said that nice guys finish last. Well, I certainly don't feel like I'm in last place today, and again, thank you.
What a perfect segue, transitioning from Coach Thompson to our next award winner. As the chapter was proud last year to announce the formation of the John McKenna Assistant Coaches Award. It was established to recognize an assistant coach who's impacted the leadership of his high school program, supported the head coach, and successfully mentored players during his tenure. This year's recipient has done each of those things in spades. He already enjoyed tremendous success as both an assistant and a head coach at JFK Island, Sayreville, Ridge, and Highland Park before arriving at Bordentown in 2020. He's in charge of the defense for head coach Skip Edwards. But more than that, he also assumes a pivotal role with the team management, scouting, practice plans, player communication, all the things that you would assume that a seasoned assistant coach would do, but he does exceptionally well. His impact on the sport does not stop with his coaching duties either. He's been on the executive committee for the Phil Simms North-South game for 20 years now. Please welcome this year's recipient of the John McKenna Assistant Coaches Award, Mr. Rich McGlynn.
Come back to you. Sing with me, sing for the year, sing for the laugh, sing for the tear. Sing with me just for today. Maybe tomorrow the good Lord will take you
Wow, what a great honor. I actually wrote a speech because, as a lot of people who do know me know, I would speak for hours. So before I do begin, I do want to recognize my real good friend, Dave Caldwell. Dave Caldwell is head coach of the year. Dave and I have been friends for over 20 years, and he's someone I look up to in our profession, and all you got to do is look at the body of work that he's done for the last 20 years. Dave, congratulations. I would like to thank the Del Val Committee, for this incredible honor. Receiving this award brings John's legacy to life, and it continues, with the person that receives the award year after year. John represented everything that was good about not just the game, but about people and about kids. He led by example. He was a mentor, a leader, and gave to so many in so many different ways. So it is an absolute honor to receive this award. The people that are sitting here at my table, my circle, if you will, starting with my wife, my ride to die, my #1 fan, For every good man, there always stands a woman behind him that's even better. And I couldn't say those words more true than my wife. My in-laws are here, and as in-laws go, I'm very lucky. I have two great in-laws that have adopted me as a son, but they're more than that, they're friends. My brother-in-law, who I couldn't have asked for a better person in life, someone I look up to, is not just a friend, but a brother to me. His parents are here too. I consider them friends from day one. They honored me as the third brother, Uncle Rico, and I just enjoy loving being with them. My two friends here, Glenn and Michelle, and Ashley and Mike, I thank them for their friendship and support, and unwavering support, I should say. Truly blessed to have them as friends. Coach Edwards, our head coach, he brought us on as a staff in 2020, brought everybody together. The one thing I will say about Coach Edwards is he promotes his staff. He uplifts them, he gives them an opportunity, he gives them a voice with the vision of Bordentown always in mind. So Coach, I thank you. Okay. To the student athletes that are up here, this is the reason we're here, right? We're here to celebrate you, right? So congratulations to every single one of you, especially Mr. Harrison here. Mr. Harrison Curtis, he was our award winner when he was in 8th grade, and he's the second-time award winner, and I'm very blessed to have known him for his full 17 years of life. Congratulations. I want to leave you with a couple things as I stand here. Always reach for greatness, for as it always is just at the end of your fingertips. Never become complacent. Dream big. There's not anything out there you can't accomplish if you want it more than anything. Always take the road less traveled. Make it your own path, and others will soon follow. And lastly, as you continue on your next journey in life, remember to stop and listen to the whisper of those who helped you along the way, as it is the foundation to your success in the future. Congratulations, all the best, and thank you.
Congratulations again to Rich, that was awesome. And with that, we've reached a natural break in our presentation this evening. A couple of things I have to plug before we take our break. The silent auction in the foyer is going to close at the end of our recess, so make sure that you get out there during the break and make a bid on all the things that you would want out there, and also make a contribution to Hannah's Hope, our very own Mike Olshin and his incredibly awesome daughter Hannah, supporting pancreatic esophageal cancer research and hospice care. So get out in the foyer and donate. We'll see you back after the break, where we'll really hit the meat and potatoes of our program. We're going to hear from all of our Scholar Leader athletes who are seated alongside me on the dais.
Driving too fast, moon is breaking through her hair. She's saying something that she won't forget. Having no regrets is all that she really wants. We're only getting older, baby. I've been thinking about you lately. Does it ever drive you crazy? Just how fast the night changes. Everything that you've ever dreamed of disappearing when you wake up. But there's
after the break. Oh, can you hear me? How are we? You good? Yep. Can people hear me now all around? Okay.
There goes my heart beating, 'cause you are the reason I'm losing my sleep. Please come. There goes my mind racing, and you are the reason that I'm still breathing. I'm hopeless now. I climb every mountain, swim every ocean, just to be with you. Fix what I broke. Oh, 'cause I need you to see. You are the reason. There goes my hand shaking, and you are the reason. My heart keeps beating. I need you. If I could turn.
If I could ask everybody to grab their seats so we can start the second half of our program. I want to welcome everybody back to the 63rd Annual George Waugh Scholar Leader Athlete Award Dinner. We're excited to move forward with an aspect of our program that really makes our event unique. As you can see, 4 of our high school Scholar Leader athletes are already ready to go here on my right. We're always looking for ways to highlight these outstanding young men, and we're once again going to conduct 5 interviews in small groups like this, and it's going to be moderated by longtime chapter member Mike Olshan. Each Scholar Leader athlete's going to have the opportunity to answer a few questions, and don't worry, we did clue them into what they're going to talk about in advance, so we're not blindsiding anybody. And without further ado, let's turn it over to Mike with our first group discussion with Princeton's Sean Wilton, Steinert's Jonathan Weaver, the Hun School's Liam Thorpe, and Florence's Robert Saban. Mike, take it away.
Okay, I always wanted to have a lounge. What I got instead is, welcome, guys. How's the volume here? We're good? All right. Sean Wilton, we'll start with you, Princeton High School. Tell us, I know leadership is big for you, so tell us kind of the journey, growing up, who you looked up to as far as being a leader, why it was important, and how you kind of grew as a leader that way.
I would say the biggest influence on how I lead was my freshman year. I got to play with Jaden Johnson. He now plays for TCNJ. Just the kindness and the way he acted towards everybody. And I was just a freshman on his kickoff team while he was the kicker. But he talked to me like I was just another person. And seeing that, it showed me what it meant to be a good leader and what I needed to be in 4 years.
We should highlight here, state champ in the shot put. So congratulate Sean on his state championship. What were you able to bring, your mentality as far as being the best to Princeton football?
Yeah, so in track, the biggest thing is you have to get better every day. There's no other way to improve other than getting better at your technique and getting stronger. So I took that to football, and I tried to make sure I got better every day. I had better footwork or technique, or I got stronger, and then I helped somebody else get better and made sure other people were learning just as much as I did, and I think that really helped the people around me and myself.
Awesome. Well, amazing year. Why don't we pass that down to John Weaver, Steinert High School. Tell us a time this year where you had to lead. It's a lot of young guys on the team this year. How did you have to lead them? What were you able to do, and what did you accomplish?
Yeah, so we were very young this year. Obviously, we saw 2 sophomores starting for us and stuff. But we didn't know. It was a rough season last year, my junior season, and going into the senior season, we didn't know really what to expect. But it was awesome to be able to lead these guys and teach them in like the weight room, see them. We went to the field together and everything. And then after that, we ended up making the state playoffs for the first time in a long time. I forget, what was it, 2018 or something like that. So that was pretty awesome to take the team there along with me. So.
Any pregame rituals that you guys had that had some extra meaning to you?
Yeah, so we started this year defensively. We gave out black shirts for all the defensive players, and a lot of the time they got them before the game, and the players would get up, they'd give us a little speech, get us pumped and everything, and it was awesome. It was awesome. It meant a lot to get that black shirt. It was really cool. It pumped us up before the games.
Excellent. Thanks, John. Pass that on to Liam Thorpe, the Hun School. Stanford University next year. All-time leading receiver this year in Hun history, and for some of you old-timers, more than 4,000 this year for the high school. As a team, if you something remember Coach Long years ago, that might have been a career, his entire tenure.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing team to be a part of. We surrounded ourselves with great talent, and we got better every day. Some of my teammates were some big-time recruits, so being on the same team as them, being in the weight room with them, it always pushed us to be better. It helped that we had one of the best quarterbacks in the country. So yeah, I would say being a part of that was definitely an amazing experience. And to be able to learn from my teammates and coaches this year was amazing.
Now, you were a longtime piano player as well, right? 15 years playing the piano. A national team at Hun. Which gives you more jitters?
That's a great question. I think that honestly, the piano, like in a piano recital, you're sitting there all alone. In football, it's more of a team game. You have your team to rely on if you're not feeling it. Your brothers could help you out, but when you're sitting there on the piano, it's not too easy to be able, like your hands are shaking. So it's similar to public speaking. You feel like out-of-body experience, and not that I'm feeling that right now. No, but my hands would be shaking and I would be super nervous. But as soon as I started playing, it's all just like by memory from there. So
appreciate it. Pass that along to Robert Sabone. First year playing, better known as a baseball player. So you got that.
Yes, sir.
A man after my heart that way. But first year really playing varsity football. What were you able? What could you bring from one sport to the other? What made you want to play this year?
A lot of it was like I put a lot of time into the gym, so I thought maybe that would correlate into football. So I tried it out this year, and it went pretty well.
What was the biggest thing you learned?
The biggest thing I learned is to like switching over. Like it was a lot of work, and I had to listen to my coaches and my teammates, and it was a lot of listening. It was a lot of learning new things. So.
Absolutely. What can you bring back to baseball this year?
The leadership aspect of it, like working as a team. You know what I mean? Like I feel in football you had to work as a team a lot more. So. I want to bring that to baseball for sure.
Well, thank you guys for taking some time here in the lounge with us. Give you guys a round. Great follow.
Thank you, gentlemen, for that great discussion. We have 4 more of those coming up before the end of our evening. As these young men take their seats, the chapter is very appreciative to have support from the collegiate ranks. And we are very proud to have a Scholar Leader athlete representing the College of New Jersey here with us this evening. A biology major and 3-year starter on the offensive line from Mahwah, New Jersey. He's been named to the NJAC All-Academic Team twice and earned second-team All-Conference honors last fall as the Lions posted their first winning season since 2011. Please welcome the Earl H. Dean Scholar Leader athlete from the College of New Jersey, Mr. Jack Centrelli.
We fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to stand before you today and accept this award, and I am honored to be up here next to these great young men. First and most importantly, I'd like to thank God for all my blessings, and of course, my mom and dad for all their unconditional love and support. Without you two, none of this would have been possible. I'd like to thank Coach Jay and Coach Savella for always believing in me and making TC&J feel like home. It's more than I could have ever asked for. Thank you. I'd like to thank my sisters, Olivia and Caitlin, for being my two best friends and for being with me every step of the way. I'd like my grandma, my aunt, and my cousins for being at as many games as they could possibly make. Finally, I'd like to thank my girlfriend Shannon for being my biggest fan. I always say that she's the luckiest girl in the world for having such a catch like me, but in reality, I'm the luckiest guy in the world to have someone like her, so love you. While I know every young football player dreams of playing in the NFL someday, I know I certainly did. Like 6 inches too short, though. Sadly, there comes a day when you realize that football will come to an end. Then you step back and start to plan for your life after football. You begin to embrace the thought that your education is the foundation for your future, and you accept the personal challenges heading into college and balancing academics and football. Time management will be your best friend. Prioritizing your classes and schoolwork and give that 100% while you're doing it. This way, you can give 100% on the field without having to worry about classworks or exams. Whether it's studying on the bus to away games or staying in your dorm to get work done instead of hanging out with friends, make the sacrifices you need to in order to be successful in the classroom and lay the foundation for what I'm sure will be extraordinary lives. Now let's talk about football. Many of you decided to attend the college you're attending because it provided you with an opportunity to continue playing the game you love. Playing at the next level is difficult and will require a ton of hard work and dedication. The late night practices and early morning lifts aren't easy, and there will be many days when you wake up sore or tired. There may even be days where you doubt yourself and question if this is right for you. My advice to you, push through. Don't give up on yourselves. If the game was easy, everyone would be playing it. Your coaches are going to want your best every single day, and you're going to want to give it to them. Eat healthy, get sleep, because if you want that starting job, you're going to have to give every ounce of what you're made of every single day. College is about discovering who you are, not just about a grade on an exam or stats on a stat sheet. It's about growing as a person. For most of you, this will most likely be the first time you've been away from home, and learning how to balance relationships and other events while focusing on football and academics will be difficult. Tough choices will have to be made. Do you want to go to that party, or do you want to wake up early and get a little extra studying in before your exam? These will be the moments that will define you as a person and your college career. So, how do you balance it all? The answer is discipline and sacrifice. Greatness isn't defined as talent, but dedication. Be a great student, a great athlete, and a great person. If you work diligently to keep your grades up, give everything you have when you're on the field, and spend the rest of your time fostering relationships and pursuing the things you're passionate about, I promise you, college will be the greatest time of your life. Finally, I would like to challenge you all. Lead extraordinary lives. Be extraordinary in the classroom, on the field, and in anything else you do for the next 4 years. Be the man that is successful in anything you set your mind to, not through talent, but through hard work and dedication, and I promise you, the rest of your lives will be extraordinary. My mom has always said to me, people that think they're great tell everyone. People that are truly great, people tell them. Be great. Thank you.
Congratulations again to Jack. At this time, I'd like to ask our second group of Scholar Leader athletes to make their way down to the interview area to meet with Mr. Olshin. And as they do that, please allow me to introduce them. Please join me in welcoming Hamilton West's Jacob Smith, West Windsor Plainsborough's Connor Sadaraju, Burlington Township's Isaiah NDI, and Notre Dame's Wyatt Moore.
We're going to test my athletic skills here now because I'm going to be walking down the so this could be a problem, but we'll do the best we can. Jacob Smith, Hamilton West High School. Tell us about a situation where you had to lead others and, how that ended up.
Our team didn't have a really great season this year, so going into every game after a loss, it really brought me to bring my team up and make sure everybody's playing 100%, even though we're not getting the outcomes we really want.
You can't get to this point without getting a lot of advice or getting good advice from people along the way. So what was the best piece of advice that you've gotten?
I'd say the best piece of advice is to never let one bad game define who you are as a player, because you always got more games to make up for that one game.
All right, thank you, Jacob. Now, Connor Sadaraju from West Windsor, North End. Tell us about that. How did you get involved, and what does being a junior firefighter mean to you?
Yeah, so I got involved in junior firefighting through one of my close friends' dad, who's a volunteer, and it's called West Windsor Volunteer Firehouse 43, and it's made up completely of volunteers. And I think that's really awesome because it's parents who just want to protect our neighborhoods and keep everyone safe. And as a junior, I'm not necessarily jumping into the fires or doing all that stuff, but I get to help those people, whether it's cleaning up around the house or getting everyone's thing ready before a fire. So that makes a lot for me because it's just whatever.
Now, as a quarterback and one of the best in the area, you've got to project that positive energy and positive confidence. Why is that so important?
Well, I think just as a quarterback on the offense, you're kind of like a leader for the team. So when everyone's always looking at you and like how you act. So when you're playing quarterback, it's not like you can like mope around, have poor body language, because your teammates are going to see that and then they'll start acting like that. So for me, it was always about no matter what happened, it's playing the best of your ability.
Thank you, Connor. Isaiah Njai, basketball has played a big part of your future, and we want to give Burlington Township basketball a shout out after a great season too. Give me the kind of similarities between the two sports and what you were able to bring your basketball mentality to football and vice versa that helped both teams do so well.
Growing up, we stick together playing sports our whole life, so we're all talented and all that. We just need to lead each other during each game, in the locker room, going out. It's just the team bonding and all that. That just leads to success in both sports.
This is the part we got to work on. I'm gonna have to move down here, I think. Best celebration in the two sports. Give us your best celebration from Burlington Township this year and why.
I don't really celebrate like that, so I couldn't tell you any celebrations.
All right. Wyatt Moore, Notre Dame. Wonderful season. Great sophomore year, great senior year. Missed most of your junior year with injury. But one of the things that stood out was you staying so involved with the team. Why was that so important?
I felt like that was so important because I felt like as a big part of the team, the leadership needed to stay at a high level. And me being there when I was hurt showed that I cared, and I think it made more people around me care.
Now, one of the big things and the great things about Notre Dame is its service leadership program, and why you're an extremely active part of that. How has that helped shape you, and why is that so kind of like fitting for your personality?
I think I fit great in that program. I think it was a great opportunity for my leadership skills and just help everyone around the community and around the state. And yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. We appreciate you helping out through some technical difficulties. Let's give these guys a round of applause. Again, a fantastic group of scholar athletes.
Next up in our program is the Hank Johns Coaches Award. And this year is a little bit different for us. As for the first time since 2012, we're going to be recognizing 2 area coaches. But before we honor this year's recipients, we'd be remiss if we didn't recognize some other noteworthy accomplishments from the coaching staffs this past season. The prep ranks witnessed several outstanding campaigns. The Lawrenceville program improved 2 games to finish 7-2. Its second 7-win season in 3 years, so congratulations to head coach Napoleon Sykes. The Pennington School matched the Big Red with a 7-win season of its own, suffering 2 losses by 1 possession in Mike Watkins' second season in charge, so congratulations to Coach Watkins and the Red Raiders. Bordentown dropped its first 2 games of the season, but it was a different story from that point on, as the Scotties won 7 of their final 8, and congratulations there goes to head coach Skip Edwards. Trenton Central had a 3-game improvement from 2023 to finish 6-4, tied for the Valley Division crown, and its first winning season since 2017. Congratulations there to head coach Chris Franco. Tornadoes finished tied in the Valley with Princeton, went 5-5 to record the program's first back-to-back 500 seasons since 2008-2009. And congratulations there go to head coach Charlie Gallagher. Those teams for Princeton in 2008-2009 were coached by Steve Everett, and Steve Everett's team at Burlington Township, 8-2 this season. Pretty good. The Independence Division crown. Congratulations to Coach Everett and the Scotties. Check that, Falcons. First of our Hank Johns coach recipients. When that talented Burlington Township squad that we just mentioned faced off against Hopewell Valley last October, it was a battle of unbeatens. It ended with a 1-point Hopewell Valley victory. The result shouldn't have come as a surprise, as the Bulldogs have posted a 28-4 record over the past 3 seasons. But Burlington Township was the only team that Hopewell Valley didn't beat by at least 23 points. That's how good this Bulldog squad was last fall, en route to their second undefeated regular season in 3 years. And with that, please welcome our first Hank Johns Coaches Award recipient of the evening, the head coach of Hopewell Valley, Dave Caldwell.
I feel it in me like the beating of life in my veins. I know there's gonna be some bright.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am truly grateful to be a coach and educator at Hopewell Valley Central High School. It's a place where we get 1,500 plus fans at a Friday night game, filling the stands with energy, pride, and unwavering support. It's a place where we get to witness the growth of each of our students, not just as athletes, but as students and highly productive community members. Watching these young individuals develop their skills, overcome challenges, and become leaders on and off the field is what makes coaching at Hopewell Valley so special. It's an honor today to accept the Delaware Valley Hank Johns Coach of the Year Award. However, this recognition is really not about me, but it's a testament to the incredible group of coaches, players, and supporters who have made this season so special. First and foremost, I want to express my deepest gratitude to my assistant coaches, an extraordinary group of men whose dedication and passion for the game are unmatched. To my offensive coordinator, Tom Walsh, who has been instrumental in building a dynamic and explosive offense that scored 426 points, averaging 39 points a game. To my defensive coordinator, Kevin Clay, who was the well-deserving recipient of this very award in 2022 when he was the head coach at North Hunterdon High School. Thank you for your relentless commitment to excellence and always getting our guys ready to compete and allowing less than 13 points a game. To Chris Skolka, our special teams coordinator, your attention to detail and ability to prepare our athletes for every situation has been invaluable. This season, we recovered 8 onside kicks and just were really excellent on special teams all around. To our quarterbacks coach, E.J. Nemeth, your leadership and mentorship of our QBs, especially Milan, have been pivotal in the growth of our team. To our freshman coaches, Thomas Philipchek and Denny Atkinson, thank you for laying the foundation and instilling the discipline and values that define our program. And to Jeff Everett, our kicking and punting coach, thank you for your expertise and dedication in developing a crucial part of our game. Your work does not go unnoticed. I am truly fortunate to work alongside each and every one of you every day. At Hopewell Valley, football is about family, and I wouldn't be here today without mine. To my wife, Lourdes, my daughter, Danny, and my sons, Chris, Mike, and Luke, thank you for your incredible support. Lourdes and Danny, your patience and belief in our team make it possible for me to fully commit to being a coach at Hopewell Valley. I cannot do this without your love and encouragement. Also, being able to coach my sons, Chris, Mike, and Luke is truly special. To my son, Luke, this year, having you as a senior leader on this team has been one of the greatest privileges of my coaching career. Watching you grow as both a player and a leader has been an incredible joy, and I am so proud of the young man you have become. To my players, past and present, especially Milan, Luke, and all your teammates, you're the reason I do this. Your work, dedication, and belief in one another are what truly make our program special. This award is a reflection of your efforts, your resilience, and the brotherhood that we have built together. Hard work, family. I want to take a moment to congratulate my co-recipient of the Hank Johns Award, Todd Smith, and also the John McKenna Assistant Coach of the Year, Rich McGlynn, and all the student athletes up here. Finally, I want to thank the Delaware Valley chapter for this honor. Coaching is not about the accolades. It's about shaping young men, and in that process, building a program that stands for something greater than just wins and losses. On behalf of my coaching staff, my family, and most importantly, my players, I thank you for this honor. Thank you.
Congratulations again to Dave. Dave's now won this award 3 times. And fittingly, as he comes up here for the 3rd time, he shares that honor this year with a coach who's also received this award on 2 previous occasions. This coach has guided the Hun School to a staggering level of success, dominance really, since arriving at the school in 2014. Last fall was the Raiders' 3rd 9-win season in 4 years, but more impressive than the school and state records that were set along the way was the competition that they faced. Hun challenged itself with a national level schedule, and it passed its own test with flying colors. Please join me in welcoming the head coach of the Hun School, Mr. Todd Smith.
excellent walk-up music. I have a couple unprepared remarks, and then I have some prepared remarks, so you're just going to have to bear with me. First to Jack Centrilli. He just introduced himself to me about 5 minutes ago. He said, are you the coach at the Hun School? I said, yes, I am. He said, I played you at St. Joe's Montville during COVID, and we ripped your soul out of your chest and beat you. Jack, I hope you trip and fall on the way out. First, I want to start with some thank yous, and then I have an apology that I have to issue, and then I have my prepared remarks. Thank you so much to everyone here today from the Hunt School, my assistant coaches, our head of school, Bart Bronk, our family, the Thorpe family, my father, my beautiful wife, my 2 children, Grayson and Sona. Obviously, it does take a village to make all of this happen, and we wouldn't be here without you. My apology goes to Mr. Don Ellison. In our last game this year, we had a colorful back and forth where I don't know why or how this came out of my mouth, but we got at it pretty good where we didn't agree with a call, and he was very adamant that he was right, and I was very adamant that I was right, and then I issued a challenge, basically not a challenge. I said if I was right or you were right, I said if I'm wrong, I said I will get you a wonderful charcuterie board, sir. And all I could say is after a review of the film, would you mind handing that to Mr. Ellison, please, sir? He's right over there in that colorful suit. And Don, I do want to thank you for your wonderful words this afternoon. Oh, lack thereof. Okay, enjoy your charcuterie board, sir. You were right. Way right. I don't even know why I argued, but you came out on top. So, first off, I just want to say I'm honored to be standing here tonight accepting this award, but I can tell you right now, this award doesn't belong to me. It belongs to every single player who put on a Hun jersey this season, every assistant coach who gave their heart to this team, and every family who supported us every step of the way. When we sat down as a staff back in August, we didn't just talk about winning games. We talked about what kind of season we wanted to have, and we agreed we didn't want it to be easy. In fact, we wanted to manufacture adversity. We wanted to put our players in situations where they'd have to fight from behind, where they'd line up across from teams with elite talent, guys just as good as us, if not better than us, where they'd walk into hostile environments on the road and have to find a way, because we believed that if we could create those moments where they were trailing late, where the game was slipping away, where they had nothing left, and they still had to find a way to respond, that they'd unlock a level of toughness and greatness they didn't even know they had. We built the hardest schedule in school history. We traveled 5,200 miles. We played 4 nationally ranked teams. We walked into hostile environments and faced teams that were talented, or in some cases more talented than us, teams loaded with Division I recruits, teams that don't lose very often. And every time we stepped on the field, the easy thing to do would have been to look across and think, man, we're outmatched. But we never did. Instead, we locked arms, came together, and said, let's go to work. And that's when we found out who we really were. We went to Chicago, played Mount Carmel, one of the top teams in the Midwest. We fought them tooth and nail. We marched down the field with 3 minutes left on the clock and went 80 yards for the game-winning touchdown. We flew to Georgia and took on Rayboone Gap, a team filled with Power 5 talent, and we walked out of there with an overtime win. We faced 2 eventual state champions on their home fields and beat both of them. It wasn't because we had more talent. It was because we had more grit, more heart, more fight. And every time it got hard, we didn't point fingers. We didn't make excuses. We came together and kept fighting. I can't talk about this season without recognizing some of the individual successes that occurred because it was everywhere. Jack Moran, our quarterback, had a season that may never be duplicated again in New Jersey high school football history. State records with over 4,500 passing yards, 47 passing touchdowns, a single game record of 608 passing yards. Unbelievable. But this is what I love. If Jack was here with us right now, the first thing he'd tell you is that none of that happens without his offensive line, without his receivers, without his coaches, without his teammates. And that's the best lesson of all. Because what this team learned is that the best way to accomplish your individual goals is to fully invest in the success of the team. When you pour everything you have into the group, the personal success comes naturally. And it wasn't just Jack. We had linemen stepping off 4-hour flights and immediately going to war in the trenches. We had defensive backs playing 100-degree Georgia heat and making goal line stands when they had absolutely nothing left. We had guys playing through injuries, playing out of position, and doing whatever it took to win. And they never asked once, why me? They just came together and played for each other. And I give so much credit to my coaching staff. I'm incredibly lucky to coach alongside men who love this game and love these kids. They didn't just develop football players. They helped mold future husbands, fathers, and leaders. They held these guys accountable and showed them what real toughness looks like. I also want to thank the administration at the Hun School, the support you've given our program, allowing us to play a national schedule, travel across the country, and compete against the best has been everything. You've given us the chance to build something truly special. To the parents, thank you. You trusted us with your sons, and I hope you saw what we were trying to do this year. We didn't want to give them the easy road. We wanted them to get punched in the mouth, not too hard. We wanted them to hit adversity because we knew if they learned how to respond, they'd leave here stronger, tougher, and better prepared for life. And finally, to all the players, everything you've done on the football field, that's going to stay with you. You're up here for a reason. You've unlocked a level of toughness, resilience, and fight that most people never find. And here's the truth. Life's going to hit you. One day you're going to face adversity. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to feel like you're up against something bigger, stronger, something that you can't surpass. And when that day comes, you'll know exactly what to do. You'll come together with the people around you, and you'll keep fighting, because that's what our team did all season long. This may say Coach of the Year, but I'm telling you, it's a Team of the Year award. Because without our players, their parents, without our admin, staff, and coaches, and without the belief in each other, none of what we were able to accomplish could have ever happened. Thank you so much, and good luck to everybody.
Whether it rains or pours,
Thanks again to Coach Caldwell and Coach Smith. Now it's time for Group 3 to meet the audience. So Group 3 folks, head on down to Mr. Olshan in the presentation area. And as they make their way down, please allow me to introduce Allentown's Christian Macaluso, the Lawrenceville School's Benjamin Lalu, and Bordentown's Harrison Curtis.
Closer until July. Now I know that you love me. You don't need to remind me.
All right, again, I get to look small compared to these guys, which is good. Christian Macaluso, Allentown High School, state playoffs again. 4.0 student. Got to be something you're proud of, deservedly. But that discipline, how does that kind of carry over to the football field?
Yeah, so to be a 4.0 student takes a lot of dedication, especially with playing football as well. Being a student athlete was always a big thing for me, and the fact student athlete, I would make sure my grades were up so I could play every week, every day, be a role model for others, have them look up to me almost in a sense based on my grades, and see the type of dedication needed to be a playoff team, be the team that we all aspired to be.
You get to keep that now. I think
Sweet.
we're working on all cylinders here, so that's good. Proud tradition at Allentown. Who did you learn from when you were a ninth grader in the early stages of the program that helped make you the leader that you are?
I would definitely go with Jake de Blasio. He was on the offensive line with me. I was left guard. He was right tackle, actually. But he basically showed me the ropes. He was a smart kid. He showed me the footwork. He pushed me every day in the weight room. I miss him a lot. But yeah, he showed me a lot that first year, and I definitely used it every year afterwards.
I'm going to have you pass that along to Benjamin Lalou from Lawrenceville. I'm going to ask the big guy this question. Favorite pregame? Did you have like a traditional pregame meal? And if so, what was your favorite?
Yeah, so...
I didn't ask the defensive backs those questions.
So since most of our games were either in the morning or like around 3 o'clock, I'd say pancakes. I mean...
Always. It doesn't matter what time of day.
It's the best thing to eat before a game as an offensive lineman because it's kind of like you want to get pancakes, but you're also going to eat them. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'd like to go with pancakes.
Leadership beyond the field is always a key at Lawrenceville, right? So being a part of that community, how has that impacted you?
Like with
the Lawrenceville community, how many other, how it's, you're there 24/7, right? How has Lawrenceville impacted you moving forward?
I'd say it's definitely, since it's a prep school, it's definitely helped me be accustomed to like that college life, like living on campus. And it's definitely helped me connect better with a lot of people because you're always around them. And especially with teachers, like they're always on campus, you have that kind of special relationship with them. Like if you ever need a question, you can get it. Or even with your teammates, being with them, bonding with them. It's a great atmosphere to be with, especially the house life at Lawrenceville. It's really something special.
Absolutely. Pass that on to Harrison Curtis. I feel like we've done this before. It's been a few years, but
Yeah.
Harrison was our little scholar when he was after 8th grade. But this is new for you, right? It was the COVID year, so we were doing like in-person, one-on-one interviews without the dinner. How's the dinner? You kind of like this more? I gotta think.
I mean, it's definitely better. With the COVID stuff, we just kind of like everything was isolated, but now it's kind of like we get to see everybody. Just everyone's like, I don't know how to say it, but everyone's here.
Yep.
And you get to like admire all the other athletes that are winning alongside you.
Yeah, now, because we talked when you were in 8th grade, I'm going to ask you the question that, if you were to now able to go back to you in 8th grade, what piece of advice would you give that would make a difference along the way?
Honestly, the biggest thing I would tell myself is just to be me, like not trying to worry about what other people think, not trying to fit in, just be yourself, find your group. Whatever's like natural.
How's the card business?
It's going pretty good, yeah.
Harrison's run HJK cards, right?
Correct.
For 8 years now, I think, or close to it.
I don't know the exact years, but it started in middle school.
Running a business, how's that? What's that done to help you as you go into college?
I think one of the biggest things that it's helped me with is just interacting with other people in that sort of business sales environment, and it's something I could definitely carry on into my future career as I want to continue in like the business or finance world.
Absolutely. Guys, congratulations on a great senior year. Good luck in college, and let's hear it for our third group here.
Come along, well, souls tied, intertwined by pride and guilt.
It's always great to hear the young people speak. This is fantastic. It's my honor and pleasure to be up here to talk about our George O'Gorman Contribution to Football Award. It's one of our top awards that we give out, one of the two, and it's named after somebody who was very special in the Delaware Valley area. Yes, he was a member of the chapter, but he covered a lot of sports, primarily for the Trentonian. But if you knew anything about sports back in the day, you knew George O'Gorman. Greg Johnson made a great reference to it. These are people who cared about the sports, who cared about the kids. So the award is very similar. It's got to be to somebody who gives back to the game, back to the good in the game, who cares about the kids that play the game. This year, it's really special for a lot of us. Special for me, because when was the last time you could introduce somebody who was your athletic trainer when you played at my age? You know what I'm saying? This gentleman has been around the block a few times. He was a gentleman that had a training room that when you walked in, some people bring happiness when they come in and some when they leave. But that's just the way it was, and it's all how you took it. If you played a sport, if you played a competitive sport like football, you know how important the trainers are to any program. This is somebody who really cared. Our award recipient put many years up at the College of New Jersey, but think about this. We're recognizing him for all he did for football, and it was a lot. But when you do every sport, and you're at a high competitive level, which means you have preseason that comes in August, and you have postseason that goes almost to the end of June, that's 11 months that you're on the job. You have a family, you have things you have to do, yet there's a lot of kids who depend on your actions. Their progress, the things they present on the field, their health and wellness, there's nothing more important. So for me to be up here to introduce to you our Contribution to Amateur Football Award named after George O'Gorman, this year it's Mr. Joseph Camelone. Joe?
It's whatever you like. Turn this up into a club. I'm talking drink, dance, smoke, free, party all night. Come back, go, what's up? Don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you need me like I need you now? Sleep tomorrow, but tonight go crazy.
Tell my Sable stories next.
As amazing as it is to even be standing up here, it's amazing that I was introduced by someone who was able to pronounce my name. First, I'd like to thank Table 3, my family and friends, and some of the friends there. I had no idea we were going to be here, other fellow athletic trainers. And I hope all of you are young guys are lucky enough to make a friend of an athletic trainer. Athletic trainer is one of the best friends you'll ever have. I'd like to congratulate the Scholar athletes and the other award winners. I'd like to thank Coach Eric Hamilton for his role in my receiving the George O'Gorman Contributions to Amateur Football Award. This is amazing. I'd like to thank my former assistants, some of them are at Table 3, and my graduate assistants and students. I would never be able to have done half of what I did without their help. I loved my work. I always thought I had the most interesting job on the campus. When someone came in the training room, you never knew what it was going to be. You know, it was terrific. And it was always gratifying to be recognized by athletic trainers. I've won my share of awards, I think, but to be recognized by a group that's not athletic trainers, let alone football coaches, this is truly amazing and very special. I've thought long and hard about what I really did to deserve this award, and I'm not sure. I keep scratching my head. I didn't do anything like nationwide, but what I think I did was I always always put the health and safety of the athlete first. And I think in the long run, that made football safer for everybody, at least the people that were under my care. And as someone who played football from the time I was in the 5th grade, we were Holy Family School, that's closed. Played in high school, Blessed Sacrament High School, that's closed. And then I went away to college, and I played until I was a sophomore in college, which I injured my ankle, and I knew I was in way over my head. I can see, this is my take, that it's great to be a scholar athlete, to make a game-winning play, to be all conference, to have a winning season, whatever. But at the end of the day, what football is really about is you're going to make friends that you're going to have the rest of your life. And I think there's a bunch of guys in here that would agree with that sentiment. It's not going to happen in algebra class or AP history, but it happens on the football field and in the locker room. And that's what makes football very special. I watched football when Paul Hornung, guys don't even know who Paul Hornung was, play with a leather helmet. So I've been involved in football almost my whole life. And thank you again for this very humbling award. Thank you very much.
At this time, we'd like to welcome our 4th group of Scholar Leader athletes to the interview stage. So if you guys would head on down to meet with Mr. Olshan as I introduce Trenton's Edward Hill, New Egypt's Aiden Healy, Heightstown's Michael Fowler, and the Pennington School's Jack Fermo.
I don't get to sit down anymore. My break's over. Edward Hill, Trenton High School. Welcome, first of all. Tell us one piece of advice that you've gotten along the way that's helped shape where you're at and at this point.
One piece of advice I would say I got to get me here would be to just never give up. Even when I first started playing football sophomore year, everyone was bigger, stronger, and they played longer than me, and I just kept getting back up and played longer.
Good year up in for Trenton this year. Tell us a time where you guys faced adversity this year, right? That you were able to battle through it, and how did you do that?
I would say a time we faced adversity would have to be against our first game that we played, Franklin. It was a close game. We had to push through. We was down at the end, and I had to just keep our teammates up, keep them motivated, and push them to fight through to the very end.
Absolutely. Thank you, Edward. Let's pass that over to Aiden Healy. 3-year captain. That's rare. Congratulations on that, first of all. Got to imagine at some point along the way somebody came to you, not necessarily asking for leadership, but kind of that needed it. Tell us about a time where you were able to help get them in the right direction.
Like with the small school at New Egypt, we never had a strength and conditioning coach, and we had a small weight room, so everybody was in there. Some people didn't know what they were doing, which was a struggle for our team. But I was like their coach in the weight room. I told them what to do, to get better, and we showed a lot of improvement this year.
You mentioned New Egypt's one of the smaller schools, and you're looking at the other sidelines in a lot of the games, and there's a lot more guys on them. And why was it important to have that toughness? And it's still 11 on 11, right? There's nothing you can do about the size of the school, but how does that help shape you and make you a tougher person?
I'm not scared of anybody at the end of the day. I mean, we versed like 330 pounds. While I'm 190 on the O-line. So it just shows that we are not scared of anybody and we're ready to face any opponent possible.
Yep. Thank you, Aiden. Pass that over to Michael Fowler from Heightstown. think back through your years, high school, you kind of did a little bit of everything on the field, but think of a favorite play that kind of summarized you as a player.
Well, I'm going to have to say my sophomore year. The week before we played Lawrence, I was in the hospital with something was going on with my heart, and the doctor said there was a chance I wasn't going to be able to play football again. And I just remember thinking, I was like, that's probably the worst thing that could happen to me. And I just remember the day before our game on Friday, the doctor said I was all cleared. And I just remember like a relief. And we went to play, and at the time I was the emergency punter. And it's like the end of the third quarter, and the punter got hurt. And I went in, and I just booted that ball. And I just remember running down the field, and I was like an out-of-body experience. I was just like overwhelmed with joy, and I was so happy to be playing football.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. You're a lifeguard as well.
I am.
Why is that so important? Why is that so important to you?
Well, I was a lifeguard for 2 years, and my first year I was just sitting there watching swimmers swim. But last summer I lifeguarded at a public pool, and on my first shift, I remember I was walking into my chair and I saw a little boy starting to drown. My heart started to pump, and I just dove in, and I saved him. And that was probably like one of the most rewarding moments of my life, saving another's life, and it was just a great feeling.
It's amazing, right? Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Michael. Jack Fermo from Pennington. We'll start by wondering how many times Coach Thompson referred to Beowulf in locker room speeches.
Too many times to count.
You do a little bit of everything, right? So how do you structure that and still find time to be a great football player too?
Yeah, I feel like everything that I go into in my life, it's just all in. My parents established this value of, do what you can, but do it with 100% of your ability. And I think that that's what I do in everything that I do. Just try and give 100% effort, 100% of the time, and just do what I can when I can do it.
You kind of answered my other question in that. The best piece of advice that you've gotten sounds like that was it, right? To give 100% all the time. Give me another one that you've gotten along the way, whether it was from a coach or another family member or something.
Yeah, so my offensive line coach last year and this year, Coach Garrison, who's actually here right now, he was also an undersized lineman when he was in high school, and he tells me every single time I go out to just play with that dog mentality. You're smaller, so you have to be technically better than everyone else, and just be a dog, go after everyone, don't let them come to you first.
Sounds like you and Aiden can share notes on being an undersized lineman, right? Yeah. Yep, thanks guys. Again, let's hear it for these guys, Group 4. Again, great stories, and we appreciate it.
As these young men take their seats, our next award presentation of the evening is a pretty special one for us. As Coach Hamilton referenced earlier, this is our chapter's first time ever presenting a gold medal award. That really doesn't start to tell the impact and the legacy of this man. So to begin this award presentation, I'd like to welcome back to the podium the Director of Membership from the National Football Foundation, Mr. Ron Dilatush.
Thank you. Tonight, the gold medal is being presented to Robert Cassiola. The gold medal is the highest honor that the National Football Foundation awards, and this is the first time that the Delaware Valley chapter is presenting this award. To say that Bob Cassiola was special and deserving of this recognition is an understatement. He meant so much to so many people. Bob was an all-Ivy League tackle at Princeton University, a football coach, a bank executive, chief operating officer of the New Jersey Nets, a TV and radio personality, president and CEO of the National Football Foundation, and he was a colleague, a mentor, and friend to many. What an amazing resume and an amazing life. I first met Bob when I was going to high school at West Windsor Plainsboro. My dad was an insurance agent, and Bob Cacciola became a client of his while he was coaching at Princeton. From that time forward, every time I would see Bob Cacciola, he would ask about my dad and how he was doing, and remind me that he bought his first insurance policy for my father. Now you fast forward to 2002, I connected with Bob and he asked me if I'd like to join him at the National Football Foundation for a new project they were working on, which I accepted. From there, he offered me new opportunities at the NFF, and I'm still working there today, over 20 years later, well over 20 years later. So I owe a lot to Bob Cacciola. Let's take just a short look at a video about Bob Cacciola.
Probably the most significant thing about Bob Cacciola is that when he went to the National Football Foundation, all of a sudden the Football Foundation changed. It became really first class for football, and that was all Bob Cacciola. It was just him and his personality saying, we're going to make a difference, and he made a big difference.
His 14 years with the foundation have seen much change and will leave a lasting legacy on both the foundation and the game of football.
I worked with Bob at the National Football Foundation on College Hall of Fame as well. And he, again, same thing. That vision was we together are trying to accomplish something.
He helped orchestrate the development of our highly successful Play It Smart program, the NFF Coaching Academy, the opening of the Hall of Fame in South Bend, Indiana, Distinguished American Award, Robert F. Cacciola, a man with faith and vision beyond the chalk marks of a football sideline.
I think football needs to be promoted because there's so much good in the game. And the good in the game are the players and the coaches, what they achieved, what they contribute. So if you go back to that comment, there are lots of people, there are lots of coaches that are contributing beyond the hash marks. But I took it and I ran with it, with the Scholar Athlete programs they had, with the wonderful program we started with the Football Foundation.
I want to thank my players, my friends from high school and college and my professional life, my coaches, and above all, the wonderful and dedicated staff of the National Football Foundation who have done more for me and for this game than most would ever expect. To a head coach from Lawrenceville, New Jersey, who when I was 16 years old in his rough voice asked me, how'd you like to go to Princeton? He could have said XYZ, I would have said sure. Being raised in Lawrenceville, just down the road from Princeton, he had waited years to find the right kid, perhaps to send there. Fortunately for me, I happen to be that guy. To be in contact with the best in the game, great men, true leaders, who understood football's unique ability to strengthen young people. And I, like many of you, have attempted to return the favor. Yes, we are uniquely positioned as an organization. Our ability to attract over 13,000 volunteers through our chapters, I pay tribute to those volunteers. They are the heartline of our organization. They give us credibility. My selection is not about an individual. It's about you, our heroes, the Hall of Famers. The kids I like to call the good in the game, the scholar athletes. The special awardees, remarkable people of great accomplishment. The organization, the foundation, promoting the game, preserving the history. And the game itself, criticized and rightfully so at times, still breeds integrity, leadership, confidence, and friendships. And it is through those friendships, through those bonds that we are here tonight, and why we've come back each year for 47 years. There is nothing like the National Football Foundation. It emphasizes football like no other. Coaches look to it, they admire it. It's the heartbeat of the country.
That's awesome stuff, awesome stuff. To accept the gold medal on behalf of Bob Cacciola, a legend at Princeton University, Cosmo Iacovazzi. Cosmo played running back for Princeton from 1962 to 1964 while Bob was one of the assistant coaches. Following Cosmo's 1964 season, the Princeton team was undefeated and finished 13th in the country, one of the last Ivy teams to finish in the top 20. Cosmo was also an NFF National Scholar Athlete Award winner and was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 2002. Cosmo has had a very, very successful business career, and at one point was the National Football Foundation Director of Development while Bob was the president. Here to accept the gold medal on behalf of Bob Cacciola is Cosmo Iacovazzi.
They never keep. Is it a waste of time to give my time to you? You are everything to me. You are.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Ron, thank you very much for that introduction, and let me just tell you, it is quite an honor for me to accept this award on behalf of Bob Cacciola. Before I get started, I just want to congratulate the award winners and the scholar athletes here at the head table, both for your excellence on the field and your excellence in the classroom. You represent the leadership of tomorrow, and it certainly looks like we're in great shape. So, congratulations, guys. I also want to congratulate the Delaware Valley chapter. As Ron has mentioned, and I work there and I know, the real heart and backbone of the National Football Foundation is the chapter network. And the Delaware Valley chapter, led by Eric Hamilton and his team, is by far one of the strongest chapters in the whole National Football Foundation. So Eric, to you and your team, congratulations on a great night and a great organization. Now, if you'll bear with me, the family has asked me to read a letter that they wrote since they were unable to attend tonight's dinner. So let me just read to you a letter from Bob's family. Thank you to the Delaware Valley chapter for honoring our husband, father, grandfather at tonight's event. The timing of tonight's event is especially meaningful as yesterday, March the 8th, would have marked Bob's 90th birthday. While we miss his physical presence in our daily lives, we continue to celebrate his long and happy life and his love of the game of football. As a member of the Delaware Valley chapter prior to his career at the National Football Foundation, this chapter in particular has always held a special place in his heart. Our family is missing the dinner as we celebrate the wedding of his oldest grandchild. In 1984, as the recipient of the Distinguished American Award, he spoke of opportunities football provided him long after his time on the field. As a player, a coach, and a broadcaster, he was able to be part of a team and learn from others, to attend college, to travel, and meet people from different backgrounds, which was the source of relationships that continued throughout his long life. That night, he urged others to give back to a game that provided so many opportunities beyond the game itself. As evidenced by the growth of this chapter, there are many who support the game. Congratulations to all of tonight's awardees. Your dedication and accomplishments are a testament to the values of the National Football Foundation. To promote and develop the power of amateur football and developing the qualities of leadership, sportsmanship, competitive zeal, and the drive for academic excellence in America's young people. A special and heartfelt expression of gratitude is extended to this evening's scholar athletes. Through your unwavering commitment on the field, in the classroom,
as well as your active involvement in your communities, you have exemplified the very best qualities of sportsmanship. You have shown us all how football can be a powerful force for good, shaping not only your personal growth, but also benefiting those around you. As you continue to move ahead in your lives, we hope that you carry with you the same spirit of giving back that was defined in your football journey thus far. May you always remember the Delaware Valley chapter, which has played a significant role in supporting and honoring athletes like yourselves. As you continue to achieve greatness, we encourage you to stay connected with this community and help uplift those who will follow in your footsteps. Your legacy of giving back to the game will inspire future generations of athletes, just as you have inspired us tonight. A letter from the family of Bob Cacciola. Brief background, Bob has been a lifelong friend of mine. He was the first coach that I met when I was being recruited out of high school in Pennsylvania, well over 60 years ago. I first met Bob on my weekend visit trip to Princeton. He drove down to drive me to my recruiting weekend. And here's the coach from Princeton. He's a pretty stern-looking guy. I mean, I'm wondering what's going on here. I had no idea what Princeton was about. But Bob drove me to Princeton for my weekend visit. It was Friday, and we were hung up in traffic a bit. So he called ahead and had the head coach order a lunch, a bagged lunch, so that when we get there, we can give this recruit a sandwich. So when we got to the campus and we went to the Forrestal campus, I was going to be an aeronautical engineer, at least hoping to be an aeronautical engineer. They were going to fire off a rocket to demonstrate some rocketry to me. So we get to the campus. We get out of the car. Bob grabs my bagged lunch, gives me the bagged lunch, said, "Kaz, here you go. Here's a ham and cheese sandwich for you." I don't know if you recall any of this, but 60 years ago, I'm a Catholic, and Catholics do not eat meat on Friday. Those are the rules. What can I tell you? So he gave me the sandwich. I looked at it. I said, "Coach, I'm sorry. I'm Catholic. I can't eat meat. Today's Friday." Without hesitation, Bob took the top off the sandwich, grabbed the ham, threw it on the ground, put the top back on, said, "Kaz, here's a cheese sandwich for you." Quite frankly, his quickness impressed me more than the rocket that they shot off. So there's many aspects to Bob Cacciola. But what you heard about him tonight and what you saw in the video, that is Bob Cacciola. Bob Cacciola truly believed in the value of the game in giving young people the tools that will make them successful later in life. Football is more than just a game played for fun. It's a teaching tool for the larger game of life. Things like teamwork, planning, effort, discipline. These are things these guys did every day on the football field. These are the same things you will do to continue to be successful in the rest of your lives. So on behalf of Bob and his family, I graciously accept the Gold Medal Award for Bob Cacciola. I thank you very much.
I want to thank our partners with Ocean Video Productions for creating that video and the photo montages that you saw there for a very fitting award. Last and certainly but not least, let's meet our final group of Scholar Leader athletes. So would you boys please make your way down to meet with Mr. Olshin as I introduce Hopewell Valley's Milan Desai, Nottingham's Carlos Almonte, and Lawrence's Mahmoud Ali.
Our last group here, get to sit down again, so that's good. Milan Desai, Hopewell Valley, two-sport star athlete. Got lacrosse at 3. What am I missing?
Basketball, too. Basketball, lacrosse, football.
Hopewell's pretty good at basketball too, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, I'll take the L for that. That's fine. Just don't tell Coach Stein. A lot of big games in that time in all 3 sports. How do you deal with the big game kind of jitters? How do you take that energy and focus it to doing your best?
Yeah, well, in football, I have a pregame ritual that I've pretty much stuck to my whole high school career. Me and the quarterbacks and my buddy Luke, we go to our local pizza place, Vito's, before every game, and we get our 1 slice of cheese pizza and garlic knots, and it's been pretty successful for us.
I was going to
so
say,
far.
it's about 18-4 over the last 2 years, right? What are the goals now to Johns Hopkins, right? You're going to Johns Hopkins next year, to take what you've learned here, and what's the thing that you're going to bring with you to the next level?
Yeah, well, my coaches have instilled in me a great work ethic, I think. I didn't start playing quarterback till my sophomore year, and I had to work really hard to end up in the position I am today, so I'm going to take that with me to Johns Hopkins and hopefully earn a starting spot.
Didn't play till your sophomore year, and just kind of casual 1,800 yards passing and another 500 yards rushing this year. Not bad. Congratulations on a great year.
Thank you.
Carlos Almonte, Nottingham High School. What's one piece of advice that you got along the way from playing high school football that's going to help you beyond graduation?
I would say stay disciplined with everything I do and never give up. My coaches always helped me with that. Freshman year, I didn't really want to play, but they always told me never give up and continue to always play.
So what's the one thing you would tell now that you've been through the grind of high school football, you're getting ready to graduate, if you could see yourself getting ready to enter Nottingham, what's the one thing you would have told yourself to help you out?
I would say just to be myself, I wouldn't like to follow other people, like what other people do and stuff. So I would just say continue to be myself.
Excellent. Thank you, Carlos. Mahmoud Ali, you're black belt, aren't you?
I am.
I'm going to stay away as much as possible. The discipline that you got on that journey, how's that helped?
Well, definitely I learned consistency. Consistency is key. I mean, anyone can just work hard for a day or 2 or a week, but it's really just getting better 1% every day that you start to see the difference. So.
Yep. Now, you're going to have to answer this question for me because it comes solely from the curiosity of being someone being amazing at something that I have no idea how. How did you figure out that you were a great long snapper, and how do you do it?
I mean, so my freshman year, I was a squirt. I was really just 5'10" or 150, and I wanted to find a way to get on the field. So we were in need of a long snapper, so I kind of just took the role, and I started training and getting better. And then I just started getting bigger and realized this could be an avenue to get me into college. I started taking it really seriously, and just being consistent, like I was saying before. And I mean, after that, you just do it over and over and over, and the reps, and it starts to get easier as time goes on.
Now, something like that that's almost like a submarine pitcher in baseball or something like that that's so specialized, you don't have that many people who can literally show you how to do it. Do you have a couple of go-to people that you train with?
So definitely, I was mentored by the snapper at Princeton, Logan Rager, and there's also the snapper down in the Midwest who does NFL snappers, who trains them. So definitely those guys have been instrumental in playing a big role in me learning how to long snap. I mean, definitely videos can only take you so far, and before I had a teacher, I was really just doing everything wrong. I was just getting the ball back 15 yards and hope and praying that it would get there. But as time went on and as I found the right people to kind of help me and guide me along the way, You know.
Yep. No, we got three of the best up here to finish out with. These guys all did a great job during their high school season. Let's hear it again from Milan Desai, Carlos Almonte, and Mahmoud Ali, and we'll send it back up to Keith. Thanks, guys.
I'm the one at the sail, I'm the master of my sea. Oh, ooh, the master of my sea. Oh.
Thank you, men. 3 of our high school Scholar Leader athletes were unable to attend this evening, but we'd be remiss if we didn't take a moment to recognize them and tell you about them. Representing Robbinsville High School is Ryan Emigholtz. Ryan was a true unsung hero for the Ravens, whether as a two-way starter in the trenches or as an unofficial assistant coach when an injury wiped out much of his junior season. He's a 3-sport athlete at Robbinsville, active in many clubs, and has volunteered several organizations as well. From the Petty School, Eric Cho. Eric's headed for the University of Chicago in the fall, and he was team captain, played just about anywhere the Falcons needed. He's been just as impactful off the field at Petty, serving as student body vice president, participating in several organizations, and even running his own 501c3. And finally, representing Ewing was Brandon Ball. Brandon returned to the sport last fall and made his impact as a valuable member of the scout team throughout the season. Brandon's a 3-sport varsity athlete at Ewing, and he's involved with the school's robotics club and earned academic honor roll recognition in all 4 of his years. The last of our Scholar Leader athletes who is unable to attend this evening is our Judge Arthur Lane Scholar Leader athlete from Princeton University, Mr. Tommy Matheson. In a moment after I tell you a little bit about Tommy, he insisted on providing us a video recording, so we'll get to hear from Tommy nonetheless. He was a 2-time All-Ivy League selection at guard and also earned all-academic district honors while majoring in operations research and financial engineering. He's a leader with the Uplifting Athletes chapter at Princeton, which raised over $25,000 for rare disease research. And without further ado, the video comments from Mr. Tommy Matheson.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a great night. First of all, I want to thank the great people with the Del Val NFF, specifically Steve Tuckerson, for helping me out and putting on a great event. I regret having to miss such a great opportunity to speak to everyone in person and celebrate a great crop of high school scholar leaders, but I trust the night has been a success all the same. I also want to thank Coach Serace for putting me up for such an honor as the Judge Lane Award, as well as all my coaches and teammates at Princeton for the most incredible 4 years. I would choose Princeton every time over again. With that said, I just wanted to share a little about my story and what got me here. I was born and raised in Gurnee, Illinois, to my parents, Jim and Sue, a pair of teachers. From an early age, they instilled in me the importance of education before everything. I took it to heart. I excelled in class and even had my mom, an advanced math teacher at the time, as a teacher in 3rd grade. Even though I was not her favorite student, it was something to shoot for. So I strove for excellence in just about everything I did from a young age, and this extended to sports. I played it all. I played football, baseball, basketball, lacrosse, even golf, volleyball, and one season I even tried my hand at cross country. My mom got me to do that on a dare. Even though I clearly didn't come in first in any of those races, I always like to say if there were weight classes in cross country, I would have dominated. But through it all, my dad preached humility. Don't brag, he would always say. He hated when I used the word I, which was definitely something I was highly cognizant of writing this speech. He would also tell me to be better, something he liked to say after a gut-wrenching loss that made me want to strangle him. But he had a point, I realize now. If I don't like how something turns out, I should get better for the next time. It seemed simple enough, and it gave me this sense of hunger for how I could improve myself. In chasing that hunger, time and time again, though, high school Tommy realized that proficiency only allows you to see just how much there is to learn. It is a sobering, humbling realization. There is, as my dad so brilliantly reminded me time and time again, a way to be better, always. As a freshman football player, you see the varsity guys and can only hope to be them one day. As a student, you see the Ivy Leaguers and who these schools take on, and you can only dream of being one of them. I vividly remember thinking of my college plans as a freshman and brushing off any thoughts beyond the local state school or nearby college football. But slowly and surely, I improved, and I improved at it all, though. It was my sophomore year of high school that the family and I realized that there was a real chance to do something with football. It was the product of years of work, but I only remember how sudden it all felt. This feeling of suddenly achieving the things that you work so hard for, that click when it all falls into place, is one of the best feelings in the world. Looking back on those days and every other time something clicked like that, I realized it was my humility that created that moment. When I finally got offers from college football teams, when I was named All-State my senior year, when I finally made the travel team at Princeton, then I finally got my first start, and then I was named All-Conference. It all felt so sudden, but I look back and I say, of course. Think of all the work you did to get there, the long hours and brutal days, all stacking towards achieving these things. This humble, quiet curiosity is what has defined my life so far. I think of all my time at Princeton and reminded of all the things I did that I look back now and I laugh at. I can't believe how hard I worked in general chemistry and physics as a freshman, drowning in homework, but at the time it just felt like the only thing to do. I laugh at myself for deciding to take on 2 minors in the 11th hour of my time here at Princeton, but at the same time, it was what I wanted, so it was the only thing to do. I laugh at myself for deciding to take over the fundraising for uplifting athletes at Princeton, being an officer at an eating club and doing it all while taking some of the hardest classes at Princeton. But I took it all on and came out on the other side. I think this is what I want to leave you with. There's always the temptation to do less, to avoid something that you want to do because it wouldn't fit on your schedule, to not take that hard class, to accept your place on the depth chart, to not start that business you've been thinking of for years. But as soon as you do more, when you commit to being better, and you put your head down with the humility to know that you haven't achieved anything yet, things will start falling into place. Your goals will come to fruition in front of your eyes without you doing anything except what the only thing to do is.
And now the main portion of our evening that we've all been looking forward to, our chapter scholarships. And at this point, I want to welcome up to the stage our chapter vice president, Mr. Kelly Myers.
I'm trying to put you in the worst mood.
Good evening, or good afternoon. So I get the pleasure of giving out the money, which is kind of fun, but just a few housekeeping things and just a couple words before, and we'll get you out here. We'll get to the fun part. So I think the message throughout the evening, and you guys, if you're listening, I'm sure you all are, is just don't take your successes for granted. Keep on going. Don't take your relationships for granted that you've made throughout football. Keep on going. Keep pushing. That's all you can do. You have a lot of successes in front of you. What do you've got, like a tenth of your life that you've had already? It's unbelievable. So keep doing it. Congratulations to all of you. One of the things that makes this chapter successful is sponsorship. There's 5 gentlemen that these scholarships are named after. It's the Ed Windy Mars Scholarship. It's the Ed Cook Scholarship. It's the Ron Rick Scholarship. It's the Steve Gazdick Scholarship. And it's the Jack Steffen Scholarship. Without those gentlemen, this chapter wouldn't be here today. They gave back to this chapter in a lasting way. And we ask you here tonight, if you're so inclined, to give back to this chapter. We need your help. The chapter's done wonderful things over the years, but if you're a student athlete that's here, remember us in the future. Remember this night. And if you're a parent that's here, please join. So without further ado, we're going to do one more thing of housekeeping here. We're going to look at a 60-second video from National from Admiral McCraven.
I am convinced that the game and how we play it is more important today than ever before. I believe the future of this nation may very well rest with the future of this sport. It will rest with you, the players, the coaches, and the fans, to ensure that the American people always see the importance of the struggle on the gridiron. To my father, the gridiron was not just a playing field, it was life and 120 yards of turf. Everything about the game had a lesson. Above all else, he preached that the game deserved respect, and it was respect that made the game worth passing on to your sons and grandsons. It will rest with you to uphold the values of the game to our young men, to ensure they are always committed to fair play, hard work, humility, and respect.
So the selection committee had an unbelievably tough job. And I'm not on it, I'm going to tell you that. Everyone here tonight is going to get we're going to give $31,000 out. Everyone here tonight gets at least $1,000. If you're $1,000, you're not one of the top 5 award winners. If you're a $1,000 scholarship recipient, please see Coach Ball. He's right there, Dr. Ball, to some of you. And he will give your letter for the $1,000 scholarship. So do that when we're finished here. If you're one of the top 5 winners, we want you to meet down by the Roy Van Ness Trophy for some pictures, please, afterwards. So here we go. The Ed Windy Morris $1,500 scholarship. I'm going to apologize in advance for butchering this name. From West Windsor, Plainsboro, Connor Sataraju. Sorry, Connor. Yeah, come up and get your money when I call your name. The Ed Cook $2,000 scholarship from Allentown High School, Christian Macaluso.
The legends and the myths, Achilles and his gold, Achilles and his gifts, Spider-Man's control.
The Ron Rick $3,000 scholarship, Wyatt Moore, Notre Dame High School.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take.
The Steve Gazdick, number 56, $4,000 scholarship from Hopewell Valley High School, Milan DeSalle. Okay, here we go. Top scholarship. Jack Steffen, $5,000 scholarship. Liam Thorpe, the Hun School.
Wow, that's an incredible honor. I'm super honored to have earned this. I want to give a special thank you to the Delaware Valley chapter for nominating me for this award. And more importantly, I want to thank them for recognizing young men like myself and my peers. It's great to know that our hard work doesn't go unnoticed. So I also want to give a large thank you to all my coaches. It means a lot that they're here today and all the work that they've put in with me throughout my time at Hun. It's really made me a better person and a better player. So Coach Farrar, Coach Tarabla, Coach Raz, and Coach Ziegler, I thank you guys. And a special thank you to Coach Smith. Coach Smith is the reason why I'm able to live out my dreams, and I'm forever thankful for that. I would also like to give a shout out to all my teammates that couldn't be here, and my friends. They're part of the reason why I'm where I am today, and they always push me to be a better man. And finally, my family. I love you guys. Thank you so much for all your support. My parents have given me so much and sacrificed so much for me, and sorry, I really appreciate them for that. So I love you guys. So football has taught me 3 important life lessons, and those 3 things involve facing adversity, the importance of the people you surround yourself with, and the importance of the individual battle that comes with not only the game of football, but life. So starting with adversity, adversity is where you grow. Adversity happens in all aspects of life, but more importantly in football. What other game are you legally allowed to enforce your will on another man? So not the figurative speech, but literally, you're going to get punched in the mouth, and it's about how you respond, and those are what forms us as people. Those are our memories that we go back to and are reasons why we keep going in life. This year, I experienced my biggest piece of adversity, and that was when I got injured. For the first time ever, I missed a football game, and it was really an eye-opening experience for me because I'd never experienced it, and to have to miss a game, at the time, I thought it was the worst thing in the world, one of my last senior high school football games ever. But now looking back on it, it really makes me appreciate the privilege it is to play football. And so that piece of adversity has only deepened my love for the game. Secondly, I want to talk about the importance of your peers and the people you surround yourself with. I've prided myself in surrounding myself with amazing people who are both great in the classroom, great people, and great football players. I like the idea of iron sharpens iron at Hun. Coach Smith does a great job of recruiting kids who are not only hard workers, but great people. We like to have people that are great people and great at what they do. And so I've been able to be around so many amazing people, such great athletes, and more importantly, such great students who are leaders and I look up to. So once again, it's super important to surround yourself with those people who are going to push you to become your best self. And finally, this is my favorite part of football. It's the individual battle. Everyone loves to talk about how it's a team game, and it is. But when you're out there on an island by yourself, for me, I play receiver, so it's one-on-one versus the DB. There's no one that's saving me out there. It's me versus that one guy. And just like how in a test in school, you can't study the night before and expect results. In football, you can't just work out the day before and then think you're going to go be the strongest guy in the field the next day. So that's super important to remember, that the individual battle is a never-ending hard work. All the hours you put in the weight room, in the classroom, they all pay off eventually. So I'm going to leave you guys with one thing I like to call the missing banister theory. And this theory states that anyone can walk a tightrope. The missing banister theory says that if I were to draw a white line down a piece of concrete on the road, everyone in this room would be able to walk down that line. But you put that line 50 stories in the air, and you're going to be so worried about your surroundings, so worried about failing, that you're inevitably going to fall, and you're going to fail. So I like to apply this to things in my life with everything that I do. And obviously, it's harder to apply, like giving this speech to all these people is much harder than my wall. My wall is way more forgiving. But he wasn't laughing at my jokes, so there's that. No, but I challenge and urge all of you to apply this theory to your life and remember that It's always an uphill battle, but when you keep fighting, you're always going to attain your goals. Thank you.
Congratulations again to Liam, and the Roy Van Ness Trophy will return to the Hun School, and that's where it will remain until next year when we give out another one of these awards. So in closing for our evening, congratulations to our Scholar Leader athletes. Each of you has clearly built a record of success. Please always remember, behind every success is effort, behind every effort is passion, behind every passion is someone with the courage to try. Please join me in thanking and congratulating all of our Scholar Leader athletes. This concludes our program for the evening. Thank you very much for attending, and please get home safely.
Three claps, we're ready tonight. Three claps. Three claps. Three claps. 27 years ago, I sat in this locker room just like you guys, on a knee, getting ready to play a game. I walked down the locker room, it still smells the same. It takes you back real quick. One of the things that caught me was how fast 27 years goes by. There's so many people that live vicariously through you. I would give anything tonight to jump in one of these uniforms with you guys.
To do something I never had an opportunity to do. My father never saw me play. You played for your fathers tonight.
That feeling goes away. It goes away, and it doesn't come every Friday night. It comes when you get married. It comes when your child's born. So you get it, but you just don't get it every Friday night. You're gonna miss that more than anything in the world. That's what I miss. And so you seniors that are focused on college, you're focused on your work after high school, what you're going to do next, you're focused on tomorrow, aren't you? You've got plenty of time for tomorrow. But these tonights, they're going by fast. You focus on tonight. This is about you guys. This is about the guys in this room that care about each other, that know there's only so many more of these nights left. It's about you. They're a faceless opponent. They just happen to draw the short straw tonight. Now get your asses ready to play. Win on three. 1, 2, 3. Win!
When I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass, I'm back in my helmet, cleats, and shoulder pads. Standing in the huddle, listening to the call. Fans going crazy for the boys that fall. They didn't let just anybody in that club. Took every ounce of heart and sweat and blood get to wear those game day jerseys down the hall. The kings of the school, man, where the boys are fall. Well, it's turning face to stars and stripes. It's fighting back them butterflies. It's calling in the air, all right, yes sir, we want the ball. And it's knocking heads and talking trash. It's slinging mud and dirt and grass. It's I got your number, I got your back. When your back's against the wall, you mess with one man, you got us all. boys will fall.
Hello, Heisman.
In little towns like mine, that's all they got. Newspaper clippings fill the coffee shops. The old men will always think they know it all. Young girls will dream about the boys will fall. Well, it's turning face to stars and stripes. It's fighting back them butterflies. It's calling in the air all around. Yes, sir, we want the ball. And it's knocking heads and talking trash. It's slinging mud and dirt and grass. It's I got your number, I got your back. When your back's against the wall, you mess with one man, you got a song. The boys will fall. Well, it's turning faces, stars and stripes. It's fighting back them butterflies. It's calling in the air all around. Yes, sir, we want the ball. It's knocking heads and talking trash. It's slinging mud and dirt and grass. It's I got your number, I got your back. When your back's against the wall, you mess with one man, you got a song. The boys will fall. Where the boys will fall.
What we would say to young kids, learn to dream. You can accomplish anything you want to. What a wonderful time in your life.
I get excited when I see kids playing in the backyard or at the schoolyard. The advice that I would give a group of 7-year-old, 8-year-olds would be to have dreams.
Like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I said quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything.
emotion. Call it a mom's adoration. Foundation, a special bond of creation. For all the single moms out there going through frustration. Clean bandit, China ball, and Marie thing make them air.
She works the nights by the water. She's gone astray, so far away from her father's daughter. She just wants her life for a baby. All on her own, no one will come. She's got to save him.
Daily struggle.
She tells him